This time on the show, we talked to Relic, aka Dave Kennedy, founder of DerbyCon and the Social Engineering Toolkit. Mubix is back in the house with all things Metasploit, and John from Level 1 Hackerspace shares with us a very special animatronic pony that breathes fire. Yeah. Woo! Ponies that breathe fire. All that and more this time on Hack 5. This episode of Hack 5 is brought to you by T-Mobile, Domain.com, and GoToAssist Express.
Hello and welcome to Hack 5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
Me llamo Shannon.
What?
My name is Shannon.
Oh, well, pound include beer.h because it's another fantastic episode of Hack 5. We got some good stuff from DerbyCon.
Yes, we do. But you know what? I went to a wedding this weekend.
That's fantastic. So did I. Whose
did?
wedding was it?
Serafina's.
That's the wedding I was at.
No way!
This week!
What? Get out of
Small
town.
world now.
Oh my god, that's
It was
so
awesome.
cool.
If you guys aren't
so
familiar with Serafina,
awesome.
she's producer of the wonderful show on Revision 3 that is Techzilla. So if you haven't watched that, go and check it out.
It was a beautiful ceremony. Lots of wine.
Did you catch the bouquet?
I didn't. The singer, Emily Ann Reed, caught the bouquet.
Okay.
And she has a beautiful, 20s jazz era voice. Awesome music. It was so much fun. So
Gotcha.
I was glad to go up there for that this weekend.
Yeah, Evil Server was jealous.
Evil Server has a reason to be jealous.
Yeah, it's
All
weird.
of his friends
He's
are getting
cranky.
hitched. I know.
Yeah, we should do
Honestly.
something about that. He needs his own segment.
We have to keep on kicking him out of the room every time we record an episode because he keeps on getting all.
Well, that and the cigar smoking. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
one
not
like in
cool.
California, it's like, come on, really? Like
Yeah,
in the
you
cigar-
you
yeah,
have
the
to go
stogies,
outside. It's like 50 feet away from the door or no.
We should really put a camera on Evil Server with some stogies and some whiskey and
Yeah.
just let him rattle it off because he's got a lot to
Yeah,
say.
he really needs to vent it out right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. But hey, good news. We
Yes.
got a gift from a fan.
Oh, I love it when we get gifts from fans.
I
Who
do
is it this
too.
week?
This is from Max, and I don't know. Is this German?
It says Computer for alle and Willkommen.
I don't know how to read it.
But no, this is actually from .dk, which is Denmark.
Denmark, yes.
But I don't speak Denmarkian.
I think that's Danish.
Thank you. This is awesome. I love seeing things in different languages.
Yeah, me
one of our
too.
friends brought
That's so cool.
some newspapers from Thailand to
No way!
To DerbyCon. I don't know if you saw
Awesome.
those. Yeah.
We should show those off on the next show.
Yeah, we should.
Was it a techie newspaper?
No, it's just a regular
No?
newspaper.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
I like
awesome.
seeing what magazines look like in other countries.
You know, if I ever get the chance to go to Japan,
Fantastic.
I will pick up 50 million pop culture magazines from Japan,
And then it'll all be about what's going on in the United States.
Probably, but in Japanese, so it'll
Yes.
look cooler.
Yeah, culture is a great export. All right. Well, let's get on with it. We have some fantastic stuff. I want you guys to stay tuned because coming up, we got Relic from DerbyCon talking about set. We got Mubix talking about Metasploit.
And a My Little Pony that breathes fire.
Is it My Little Pony? Well, it's a pony. It breathes fire. Stay tuned.
My little pony, my little pony.
I'm here with Joe, another creative hacker at DerbyCon 2011 from Level 1 Hackerspace here in Louisville. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great.
And who's your little pal here?
This is Butterscotch, my fire-breathing pony.
Ooh, fire-breathing pony. Please explain.
Well, it's a pony that breathes fire. It started out its life as a child's toy, and we made it better.
Better. Well, you know what? I gotta say, I can only imagine when it was skinned, it was already probably creepy enough. But you've obviously taken it to level 11 or something, just skinning it alone.
Yeah, it was already in the uncanny valley when we found it, but we figured we could make it better, bigger, faster, stronger, more fiery.
And what's the inspiration behind that?
If other animatronic things that have been skinned, just if you see one of them, then you know that if you see an animatronic thing, it's your duty to take its skin off.
It's like Terminator. I'm just imagining some very creepy moment in Disneyland with It's a Small World or something like that. How do you go? I notice here you have the obligatory nunchuck controller. Amazing thing to just attach to any kind of electronics. How do you go about controlling this guy?
Okay, so the nunchuck controller is being fed into the Arduino microcontroller here, and then that microcontroller is just tapping into the pre-existing motor control system that was already there.
And how is that?
It was great. It was surprisingly, when I opened it up, the circuit board was labeled. It had color-coded wires. It was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see.
Whoa, it's like code that was commented.
Yes.
And so this is all running by an Arduino. So is this all like written out in C, open source, good stuff like that?
Yeah, it's in the Arduino C-ish language, but I have all the code, and we'll hopefully be pushing it out once I clean it up a little and put those comments in.
Yeah, no, that's important stuff. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to, kind of follow in these footsteps and try similar stuff because you're right. I mean, who doesn't love a creepy animatronic animal? How did you get it to breathe fire?
Well, the fire is actually fueled by starter fluid, which is mostly ether, and it's held in the belly, and then we have a cable for safety, of course, to be able to remotely trigger the cans, and then it goes up this tube and then exits it through the mouth. And then at the mouth, we have a grill igniter that ignites it.
So you just pop that right off a grill, and there you go. You can shoot some flames. Now, you guys had this over at Maker Faire here in Detroit, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
That must have been a fan favorite. The kids must love this.
Oh, kids love it. Parents, not so much. But we think it's important to give kids goals that cause distress to their parents.
Absolutely. I got to say, this is really awe-inspiring. Do you have what's next? You have like a farm of these guys happening, or a zoo?
Yeah, so I have another pony that we need to probably help put out fires with. And then I have a dinosaur. We have an orangutan at the space someone's working on. But the next thing is to get this little girl walking.
Yeah. So I can imagine the pony to complement it with maybe a fire extinguisher or something, and then you want them to trot around?
Yeah, I would preferably be able to ride around Maker Faire next year instead of having to stand next to a pony. So hopefully we'll have her up and walking on 6 legs very shortly.
Oh, well, on 6 legs?
6 legs are better than 4.
Okay, that's another level of creepiness that is so awesome. I love the just the creativity of this. Is there a place where some people can go and find the ins and outs of, like, because obviously this is like a toy that is commercially available. If somebody else wants to hack this and kind of do something similar, maybe have it shoot ice or something, is that something you have documented?
Well, the documentation's not up. I'm working on it. I'm much better at doing things than documenting them, but hopefully within the next week I'll have all of that up on level1.org.
Oh, nice. You guys have like a wiki there for level 1?
Yeah, we have a wiki on the Level 1 site, and we also just have a main blog that I'll be posting all the information as we go. And I'll also be getting it up on Instructables once I have that done.
That is so sweet. Joe, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. This is, like I said, awe-inspiring. Can I move him around? Oh, yeah.
This episode is sponsored by T-Mobile, and they've put together a little video to tell you about their mobile broadband plans. Check it out.
T-Mobile's 4G mobile hotspot gives you blazing fast speeds on America's largest 4G network. Connect up to 5 Wi-Fi devices like laptops, tablets, iPads, iPod Touch, portable gaming devices, and more. For only $19.99 per month, create your own personal 4G hotspot with T-Mobile.
I want to say once again thank you to T-Mobile, and now, logo. What the hell inspired you to start a new con? Why didn't we have enough cons?
We probably do. But Adrian Crenshaw, Martin Boss, and myself, we all decided to just get together and start a small conference for hackers in their underwear right now.
No, we're not going to play that game about those hackers that are wearing sweatshirts, listening to Hack 5 in their headphones. But no, I'm not giving you hell for it. I think this is great, and it's a great location because you think about, or at least our major ones like ShmooCon on the East Coast, TorCon on the West Coast, and then Vegas is Vegas. It's good to come here because we've seen it's been a great turnout, over 1,000 people for your first one. Wow, and the turnout's been interesting because it's the kinds of people that we wouldn't see at the other cons that are like within a day's drive.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no Midwestern or Central type conference that's here, so we decided that Louisville for us was probably the best place. I mean, the Hyatt itself, you have the bar on the second floor, which everybody, I mean, that was a huge success. I mean, everybody was just there socializing, drinking, and then you walk right outside and you have the biggest party area. Well, I guess the biggest party in Louisville is not the biggest party area really in a lot of the places, but I mean, bars and food and everything is all right there. So for us, it was a huge success. I mean, we never anticipated it being anywhere where it was, so I'm blown away.
Great. Well, what was the biggest challenge kind of putting this together?
We never done a conference before. We have no idea what it takes. The only thing that we know is we're con goers, and so going to conferences, we see things that we would like to see, or see things that are different, or cool ideas. And and Bruce was Bruce and Heidi were instrumental in getting us all set up at first. When they first started off, we started pinging them a lot of around how they do their conference and how they started off and things that they've learned, and they were more than willing to help out. And Aaron and Heidi were just, my wife, Aaron, going back and forth. And I think it's a similar type concept with those two. My wife basically handled everything from making sure that we're organized, because we're ADD and scrolled all over the place. So it was really cool that it all really came together. But I mean, I think some of the challenges we had were we really had no idea what we're doing. So we wanted to make sure that when we came here, we did as much as we possibly could to make sure that everybody was taken care of and had a good time, and try to keep it as cheap as we possibly could to make sure that we made up, for the conference and went from there. So.
Nice. Well, it's definitely a community, and it has that vibe. And there have been plenty of great talks. I know that you gave one with Kevin Mitnick. A lot of people probably know that you're famous for Social Engineering Toolkit as well as Fast Track. I'd love to hear what the latest is with those.
Sure. So in Kevin and I's talk, I released a new version of SET, which was 2.1, which I spent about 4 months of development in. And this version for me it hit home because I basically incorporated Fast Track now into the Social Engineering Toolkit. And so you have all of the options that you would have in Fast Track in SET.
And for the kid that's sitting in his boxers that isn't familiar with Fast Track, real quick.
And Fast Track was the first tool that I decided to write. I had been programming a little bit here and there, but I'm like, I'm going to create something cool, because I'd gone to penetration tests all the time, and I saw things that I could automate or do things that were really cool that aren't in anything else, and started to automate those so that you can actually leverage them in a penetration test and make penetration tests easier. And so that's where I really started with Fast Track. And the new version of SET, when I wrote it, I completely rehauled the entire thing. I mean, there's not a line of code that's the same in this version as it was in the old version of Fast Track. I mean, Fast Track was one of the first programs I had actually really written, so you don't go back and look at that code. It's pretty bad.
Don't look at my code either.
Yeah. But no, it turned out really good. And then we also incorporated, I rewrote the Java applet attack, which I have something big to tell too. Rewrote the Java applet attack to incorporate the shellcode exec attack, which is basically you're able to drop alphanumeric shellcode straight into memory through the Java applet without ever having to touch disk.
Now, what's the advantage of dropping your code into memory without touching the disk?
What we've always struggled with in SET and in Metasploit in general is, AV companies are really trying to hit those payloads very significant. So even with encoders like Shikata, or backdooring legitimate executables, or digital signature stealing, or packing, or cryptors, I mean, they still have portions of them that are legitimate in nature in the executables that they're triggering on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass in the sense that it's like, all right, we're here sharing our payloads with each other, and then the antivirus vendors, McAfee, are all sitting there going, oh, cool, we like those payloads too. Let's just put them into the signature. And it's like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, and the Metasploit guys, kind of came to the conclusion of, we're not going to continue to just rewrite stuff over and over and over again for this. You need to find your way of going about it. And so, SET's kind of had the evolution of doing different things to try to evade antivirus. And we incorporate Metasploit-based payloads, as well as one that I wrote custom for the SET. It's called the SET Interactive Shell. And it uses a couple of different techniques, like it'll pack it and then and obfuscate the living daylights out of the executable, which has been very effective for a long time. But again, now those are starting to get detected with a few of them. So I think like 4 out of 28 now, or 4 out of 43 detected now, which so they're starting to get more popular. And so with shellcode exec, the reason why I decided to do that is Meterpreter never touches disk. There's no signature to do, so it goes straight into memory. Nothing scanning it, and
nothing scanning it. So the antivirus, they're not even checking memory out.
There's nothing, and there's no memory checks that are going. Any antivirus company that claims they're doing memory checks are crazy. I mean, a lot of times what they're monitoring on is registry changes or system API calls, and I would say 99.9% don't have system API call monitoring. I mean, you have to have kernel level injection to be able to see everything for that, and or drivers, and so there's really nothing out there that has been detecting it. So I ran it through pretty much everything that I possibly could, and it's been working beautiful and haven't had any type of antivirus signature flag on it. So long story short, we shouldn't have to worry about antivirus in SET anymore. So.
Dude, that is fantastic. And I know that you've also been having a lot of fun with the Teensy. Could you tell us a little bit about what kind of human interface device attacks you're using?
Yeah. So this time around, we Josh Kelly and myself. Josh Kelly's a coworker. He's doing a lot of work and research on the Teensy devices, and he's actually talking very shortly on what he was able to do with the Teensy device. And what he's essentially working on is the ability to write a small stager that opens a COM port onto the Windows device, and then reinitialize itself as a COM adapter, and then transfer all the information over via COM. So instead of actually having to type out all of those things, you can transfer a 5 meg file in just a couple seconds versus actually having to worry about typing it on there anyway.
Yeah, right now we're like injecting things via base64 encoded ASCII or even just hex right into the command prompt into a file, either a C script or a PowerShell thing to turn that into an executable. We're looking at the same thing. You open a COM port and it's like, boom.
And and you can do it over other things too. And Josh has been researching it, and you can do network adapter. So you open up,
Yeah. What's interesting about that is you open up with a network adapter and then you replay a PCAP.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just have that trigger and have all that information basically sent to then right straight to disk. So
you could have what looks like a web server, but it's actually just an automated send out. You can
right out, and you're done. It's your binary, that's absolutely legitimate. And so there's a lot of different things that we're playing with. What we wanted to get out of it was, if you're going and you're doing a quick hit, you're going into a machine that you want to get into, you don't want to have to sit there for 10 minutes as you're writing a binary out.
I tried that. I tried to take the entire 63 kilobyte netcat on a Windows XP machine, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll just convert that over to hex, and then have it type all 63 kilobytes in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's no feasible way you can do it.
I just imagine the James Bond movie where he's like, and then I'm gonna get in, and then 10 minutes. Yeah, hang on. Yeah.
You're just sitting there for 10 minutes.
And then the girl from Ipanema starts playing.
Yeah, so not a very feasible attack. And so what Josh is working on, being able to plug it in, you don't have to worry about having to have another network cable plug into it, and try to figure out where that's at, or unplug it and then plug it in, So Josh wants to be able to, with one USB device, plug it in, initialize itself as a USB, write the quick stager, deinitialize itself, reinitialize as a COM adapter, and then start transferring information over. So it requires a pretty big rehaul of the Adreno-based libraries. So we've been Josh has been working with Rob Simon on merging the two together so that we basically have one unique library that we can call for the initialization and deinitialization of those. So
we got to get you guys some ducks because we actually got 3 UARTs, so we might be able to do that without having to deinitialize and reinitialize. Dual, have them both at the same time would be a lot easier.
Well, I got one of them right now, so we'll definitely be playing with them as we go.
Yeah, we got to get that up and set,
Absolutely. Hey, it's already done. So I'm going to start working on the rubber ducky when I get home and start incorporating the attack vectors in the set.
All right, so I got to ask, what's coming up for DerbyCon? You're going to continue it here?
Yes, we're absolutely planning on keeping it here. There's a few changes that are going to happen. We're going to include an additional tracks. We'll have 4 tracks. One will be for more newer people's information security, so it's not always like the crazy technical talks or whatever's going on. There's people that are relatively new to the industry can come and learn in a collaborative environment. But the main feel that we wanted to get for this was, we're all here and we're all friends. There's no rock stars. There's no people that are better than each other. It's really just to come together as a community, and we're all as one. So hopefully that message came clear, and it seemed like it because everybody was in the hallway hanging out with each other. All the big guys and the names in the industry were all hanging out with everybody, all partying with everybody. We were all one. It was no.
You're absolutely right. You've got everybody from the guy that just discovered that you can start having your way with computers to Kevin Mitnick, and everybody's walking around having a good time. I also got to say that you in particular have a lot of heart, and that this is one of the things that makes this con unique in that there aren't schmoo balls and we're not putting cement in toilets or anything like that. But the man hug ticket. Tell me about the inspiration behind the man hug ticket before I redeem this.
Well, so I actually had nothing to do with the man hug ticket itself. However, I did repeat that I will give hugs to anybody, anytime, because I'm a hugger. And so Integral decided to take it on itself to make a magic ticket for the 1 ticket get free of a Relic Man Hug. And so I've literally hugged, I would say, there's over 1,000 people here. I've hugged them at least twice or 5 times. So I've done about 5,000 hugs, I would say, just alone these past 3 days. So I'm very happy. I'm hugged. I never hug out, so I can hug anytime.
Oh, here we come. That's good stuff. Oh yeah.
It's gotta be 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We gotta wait for the Tinsy to go out.
Oh yeah. Okay, so base 64 encoded. Anyway,
Go, let's go.
come to DerbyCon. Get yourself a hug.
One thing I forgot to mention, by the way, I did something with the new version of Set, but I'm getting it reviewed by the EFF right now to make sure I don't get sued.
What's that? Wait. Why would you get sued?
So, interesting enough, if you look at how Java released the Java applets, you could originally, like about a year and a half ago, do code signing by your own self-signed certificate on the.
Well, you have to be able to self-sign. How else would you test?
Right. And so what happened is when you self-sign it, the publisher would show up as whatever you want it to be. So Microsoft, Google, whatever you want it to be. So
Yeah, I mean, and we've been doing that for forever, but that's just what it shows up in the name field. That's not actually Microsoft cert.
absolutely right. But for an end user, when you actually go through and you go to the Java applet and it pops up, it would show publisher Microsoft. So for the end user, they had no idea. So after releasing Set, they released an update to the Java applets and for the JDK, and now it shows up as a publisher as a big unknown. So it's less, enticing for a victim because they don't know who it is. But still, I still find it's like a 95, 98% success rate when I'm actually doing my attacks. And so what I did was, to get around that, is I bought an LLC in the state of Ohio and basically purchased a code signing certificate that was legitimate in nature called Verified Publisher. So now
I'm sorry. What's the name of your company? Verified Publisher.
Verified Publisher. So I registered the state of Ohio with Verified Publisher, and I now have a code signing certificate for Verified Publisher.
When I run Java code, I always use Verified Publisher.
They're very trustworthy. I mean, they're verified.
And they're a publisher.
But it just goes to show you that, an attacker, if he's going after an organization or company, he's going to spend $30 to register an LLC. He's going to spend $200 to buy the code signing certificate, and he's going to do it anyway. So what's the point of what we're doing with that?
But it's secure because there was a code signing authority, and obviously, if Java or if Sun didn't want you to be able to provide your most valuable clients with code from Verified Publisher, they wouldn't have given it to you.
That's right, absolutely. And they do the corporate verification where they actually check to make sure that your LLC is legitimate, and that is it.
They looked up your Dun and Bradshaw number. Actually, you didn't even have DNBs. They just said
my EN number, and that's it. The tax ID, basically. So you look that up, everything's good. You got your cert. Yeah, it's about a week-long process.
I'm about to go register the phone company.
Well, Kevin Mitnick's got a good one too. He registered Oracle Java, so he doesn't actually have the code signing certificate or anything. But we basically, it just goes to show you what you can register. You can register anything you want to.
So why does the EFF have to get involved? I understand how Sun might be a little upset, but they could just revoke the cert.
And that could be a viable reaction to it. What I want to look at.
Yeah, that you're not. You have no right to that, sir. It's a privilege. It's they're the company that's issued it to you, and if they're like, no, we don't want to do business, it's their choice to not do business with Verified Publisher.
Absolutely, but they could go crazy and try to strong arm you to remove it and recant anything you've ever done. But what I'm going to be doing is distributing it, signing it into Set with the Java applet, and distributing it to the masses. And it is a hacking tool, albeit I obviously only want to use for good. I can't necessarily verify that it is being used for good. So I do hope that I hope the route that they don't take is they don't revoke it at all, because it's a legitimate application that's registered, copyrighted and everything else. So it's not like it's something that is a hacker tool that someone's using. So, hopefully it's a legitimate cert. They don't revoke it, but you never know.
Yeah, and if it's not you doing it, it's somebody else. Come on, think about it. These company names, Zanga, what? So you just go and register a couple of letters, and people are going to click yes anyway.
Absolutely. No one knows if you go to a website if it's who actually developed the Java applet, or people don't even care. Listen, the unknown did absolutely nothing to reduce my footprint of how the Java applet worked. I just want to make sure that it's meticulous and perfect as you're doing an attack. If you have a 2% margin, I can increase it on by just by doing that itself. Then that's been it did its job. So
awesome. Well, thanks for spending some time talking to us. It's awesome. All right.
Look forward to next year. We got some big plans for next year. Big plans. So definitely check out DerbyCon, and we look forward to it. I'm gonna go get some sleep. All right, sounds good. Thanks, man.
There are two things IT professionals and their clients have in common. They want the job done right and they want it done fast, and that's why I highly recommend GoToAssist Express by Citrix for anyone in IT. It's got the fastest, most reliable support. GoToAssist Express puts clients at ease with a simple, secure remote support, and it puts you in a position to do what you do best: access, diagnose, and resolve the problem. With the fastest support experience and the ability to service multiple clients at once, you'll actually be increasing revenue while improving your customer service reputation. Take care of clients while they're away with the unattended support feature and get unlimited use for one flat fee. When it comes to remote support tools, I think GoToAssist Express is the best. So fast, so reliable. Don't wait. Start using GoToAssist Express today. Hack5 viewers can try it free for 30 days. Go to gotoassist.com/HAK5. Again, that's gotoassist.com/hack5 for a free trial.
It's time for the nibble. Using Alt-Tab is the usual to switch windows in the Windows operating system, but if you use Windows plus Tab to see it in 3D, it's a lot easier to find them. Also, you can press Control Windows Tab to toggle this and then switch around the screens with Tab or with your mouse. Thanks to Damon for sending in this nibble, and if you guys have one, send it over to hack5.org/nibble.
So, Mubix, if that is your real name. Actually, somebody said that you go as Rob Fuller. Actually, no, I mentioned Rob Fuller, and they were like, huh? And I'm like, you know, Mubix. They're like, oh yeah, I know Mubix.
Nice.
Dude, it's good to see you here. You were giving a talk on all the fiddly bits, all the fun little stuff that you don't learn in hacker school, right?
Right. So we essentially went over a bunch of different little tricks that Chris Gates and I that gave the presentation, also known as kernel ownage. And the stuff that they don't teach you in class, that's not in the ethical hacking books. It's not in, all those little things that...
Maybe the unethical Mubix hacking book.
Well, no, it's just the old school stuff that they don't teach anymore. Like, they think it's old stuff. So
No, it's kind of funny actually when talk about old stuff. Like we've been like hard on development with these the rubber ducky stuff, and here I am using CopyCon. I haven't used the copy space con command, which is pretty much undocumented since like DOS 5.
it's great for web servers too.
It's great for web servers. All right, so what kind of fiddly bits and tricks and stuff were you playing with?
So two of the things that we released, and we released a ton of different tools. I used Railgun to access the Windows API through Meterpreter.
Ooh, Railgun? I'm not familiar with Railgun.
All right, so Railgun is an extension, or not really an extension. It's part of the standard API now of Meterpreter, and it is a direct access to the Windows API. So anything the Windows API can do, which is pretty much anything Windows can do, is accessible now through Meterpreter.
So you're not sitting there writing net commands and trying to find a way through the command line to do all of that fun stuff.
Right. So one of the things I released, and which is my baby because I worked on it for like almost 2 years, is net discovery. So net discovery, when you run a net command or a net view, you get a list of computers, and a lot of people don't know that. But
People have been having fun with net since net send asterisk the hello world.
Yeah. So, but the problem is you get a list of computers, and then you got to look up the computers. Like you have to find out what they are, and the API that actually powers that is I don't remember the name of it, but it comes back with a lot more data. It comes back with the version of the computer.
So stuff that isn't actually displayed back to the user, but the data is there.
Right. So another thing it comes back with is description, and everybody knows that that's in that view. Okay. But one of the final pieces is this services number, which is essentially a cumulative number or a hex bit that gets incremented up as more services are there. So if the box actually has Microsoft SQL on it, you can find that out. So net discovery, you can say, hey, show me all the SQL boxes on a domain. Right. And it'll do that. The other thing is once net discovery is done with enumerating all that information, it will then look up the IPs for everything. So a lot of targeting when you're running Metasploit is based on IP ranges. So if you get on a box and you hit like 192.168.1.whatever/24, you might be missing like 9 other offices that company has, whereas the net view will show you all the ranges that they have, all the computers, right?
So you're not like sitting there just like trying all of them.
Right. And since I'm using Rex, which is the exploitation library that's built into Metasploit, gem and stuff, you can copy that out into a CSV. So there's your target list, right? So net discovery, if you look at the very bottom as the cumulative number of services, that's whatever is the largest number is obviously the thing that has the most services. So I sorted.
Oh, so okay, so the it doesn't actually say, oh, this bit is for this service and that bit is for IIS and SQL and Peachtree. Peachtree. I don't know why I said Peachtree. Maybe I had to do that recently. I had to do that recently. It was so bad. Anyway, it just says, oh, I have 7 services.
Well, it's a number, but you're not going to know exactly what it is. But in the post module, you can say, show me only domain controllers, or show me only Unix systems, or show me only Novell systems, or SQL servers, or whatever. So I have a list of things you can look for specifically, and there's a ton. It doesn't say it in the output which it is.
Yeah, how did you go about doing all of that? I mean, did you just is this in Python or Perl or I don't know. I'm just saying, how did you go about this?
Ruby. So it's all in Ruby. It's just a post module in Metasploit.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's all going to be released. All the stuff that we did is going to be released on GitHub because the submission process goes through Egypt, which takes 4 years to get at least one thing through.
And why does it take 4 years to get through Egypt?
I have no idea.
I mean, I understand that it's across the pond, but
I think he's just lazy.
Oh, okay. Nice. Well, it sounds like you guys are doing some fantastic work over at Rapid7. I know that you guys are doing the Metasploit training here. It's really good to see you, Rob.
No problems. Yeah. All right.
Where can people find the code? I know that you're always blogging and everything. People already know the URL. Say it with me now.
Room362.com. Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
No, it needs to be something more straightforward, like USBRubberDucky.com.
No, it should be more hardcore, like tacticalassaultducks.com.
I'm leaning towards programmablehumaninterfacedevice.com.
No,
No way.
absolutely not.
Is that you typing?
Kirby!
Kirby. Meow.
No matter what your project is, domain.com has what you need to register, host, and promote your next big idea. Even if it's fgh.com. Domain.com is owning the competition with cheap domain names and hassle-free service. Their easy checkout process and domain discovery system make it easy to select the domain that's right for you and set up your website without hassle. Domain.com will even transfer your domain name from another registrar and hook you up with an extra year for free for a mere, well, it's actually less than $6.50 when you use the coupon code HAK5 at checkout. That's right. Our coupon code HAK5 will save you 15%. Don't forget, when you think domain names, think domain.com. As you guys know, before we wrap up, we do want to check in with Shannon to find out about the Technos photos of the week.
What up? This is from one of our home Gs over in the European area. He's in Ireland. Ireland. Archiver. He sends us a photo of his stickered laptop, which seems to be covered in
It's not IE, and it's a lad top because he's in Ireland.
Oh,
and
it's
he's
a
boy.
laptop.
Anyway.
He's got a laptop. And it seems to be covered in the Hack5 swag.
Wow.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it. No, I want to go back there so bad. I gotta work out the insurance stuff, but yes.
Send your pictures over to feedback@hack5.org.
And once again, it's time for trivia. Can I do last week's trivia?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, this fictional IP version 4 packet header field was proposed in RFC 3514 as a means to identify packets with malicious intent. Evil Server knows all about this. What was it, Shannon?
The evil bit.
Evil bit.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love April 1st on the internet. It's the best.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it used to be better. Now it's gotten a little, but yeah.
This week's question is, the name cyberpunk was first coined by what author in 1983? And if you think you know the answer, go over to hack5.org/trivia for a chance to win something very cool out of my goodie bag.
Your bag of goodies just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It does.
Yeah.
Hey.
Or,
Are you
actually,
calling me
no,
fat?
that's the candy bag. You guys don't even know. She's got a candy
I do. I have a whole shelf that's full of candy
yeah,
at home.
it's
awesome.
but it gets bigger.
If you ever
The
wonder
candy
why
bag
I'm always
only
like
ever
so
gets bigger.
on the show, it's because of the candy. It is, really.
Yeah,
All
spend
right.
an afternoon with Shannon and sweet tarts.
Let's wrap this stuff
Yeah,
up.
all right. Peace, guys. See you next week on Deer on Kitchen.
But
Oh yeah, subscribe to us on
subscribing,
iTunes, YouTube. You guys know the
and
deal.
Hack
Also get your
Tip.
goodies over at the Hack Shop, including new rubber ducky if you're looking for the firmware. It's on the forums. Hack Tips are out on Friday. We're on Google+, Twitter, Facebook, and all the other stuff. I'm Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Trust your technolist. Paul wanted a shorter C block, so see you guys.
Whoa. Did that just happen?
Hello and welcome to Hack 5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Oh no, that's something wrong with this. You can totally be like, yeah, DerbyCon was a huge success.
I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Do-do-do-do.
So, Rob Fuller, if that is your real name. Actually, somebody. No, hang on. Other way around. Sorry, I got this. So, hang on.
And it's your weekly dose of Technolust. That's not gonna work, is it?
No? No androids? Oh.
They dream of electric podcasts.